Only pick the top 5 that are going to be lowest effort, the highest reward. I was reading this book and I was reading about the 80-20 principle, and really fascinated me that it kept saying doing the right thing, not the best thing, not the thing that's going to consume most of your time, but actually how can you do things that are gonna impact your life the most. And I was like, okay, that sounds really basic, but what does that even mean, right? And then I was reading Peter F. Drucker, The Effective Executive, and it also mentioned like, okay, how you should be effective, not working all the time, right? And this struck with me, right? Because I'm pretty much working all the time, right? Which is not a bad thing, of course, but what I think it's also something that I should keep in mind and reminded me, and I think it's an important thing that I should give out too, is you're never gonna be able to do the things that you want to do if you have big goals, unless you're really gonna spend your time on the most important things that you could do. They're gonna they're gonna give you the highest rewards and the highest gains with the lowest amount of effort. And if you only do those, and by Pareto's principle, the 20% of the things you're doing are gonna give you 80% of the rewards, then I think we should really filter out the activities we're doing in our day, you know? And I think that's pretty interesting, because I'm looking at my calendar, like I'm right now about to go into my notes and into my calendar and into my things I gotta do and everything like that, and I have like 245,000 things, right? Obviously I'm joking, but there's like at least 150 things to do next week, right? And I'm not joking, by the way, that's literally the truth. And what if like 20 of those things really need my time and the rest can be postponed or not done at all, right? What if I could only be left with 25 and actually do a lot more in those 25 that are much bigger of an importance for the business, for my life, for everything? I don't know, I just think it's interesting just kind of to think about that and to kind of like really take the approach, and I think so few people do this, but really taking the approach of looking at the things that you want to do and actually always having in mind what is the right thing I could do, not the best thing. Like I see people staying like 10 hours on a thing that could be done in 2, but they're just perfecting it for 8 more hours. I think that's important in some cases, but in most cases it's not. You're just wasting another 8 hours other than shipping it, like Seth Godin says. He had like this little book, like 20 pages book. He calls it Ship It, and it's basically the concept of shipping stuff faster and putting out more quantity, right? And this is again the balance between quantity and quality, and I think a lot of our clients have this too. Like when we're pushing out content, there's this major constraint that people have, like, why am I pushing so much stuff? Because this is not quality, right? The problem is, if you only have 3 things, they could be perfect, but you don't have a lot of shots at winning. But if you have 30 things, even if they're not perfect, you're gonna have 30 shots at winning. So I just think it's an interesting kind of a thought process to have, because it will filter out the things that you're doing a lot more, and it will give you a tremendous advantage, because you will be seemingly doing less things, but the things that you will be doing will have more value, right? So what does this mean for you? For example, when you're creating, let's just say work in marketing, and you're creating like, you want to start out with a new client, the most important thing that you can do is create a proper strategy, right? That's going to be the highest rewards, lowest effort things that you could do. And then in that strategy, look at all the things that you could be doing, all the ideas that you may have, brainstorm over it, do all that, and then take the 25,000 things that you want to do and only pick the top 5 that are going to be lowest effort, the highest reward tasks that you could do and ideas that you could execute on that specific client. And when you do that, you could be doing 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 or 20 things that took you 2 weeks and be able to accomplish more than what people will do with 200 things in 2 years, right? It's fascinating, you know, and it comes back to kind of the thought process of time. We all have pretty much 24 hours in the day. You cannot really get more. If you can, hit me up. I'm curious to find out how do you do that, but you cannot really have more than 24 hours. So the best use of your time will win. You know, if you spend your time more wisely, that's how you're gonna win. If you don't spend your time wisely, and by wisely I mean on the most important tasks that will bring you the highest rewards in whatever it is that you want to accomplish, you're not gonna be able to achieve that. So pretty fascinating concept. Pretty sunny day here in Romania. About to have some friends and team members come in, and we're gonna play something I don't even know what it is, and good stuff. So we're gonna hop out into my little scheduling for next week. I'm working on strategizing some things I'm doing next week, and it's gonna be cool. Again, like I've said this like 14 times in the last 3 vlogs, but pretty interesting for me to see that there's literally nobody in the city. Everybody's at seaside, mountainside, and taking a break and vacation. And I'm gonna do that too, but I think it's fascinating, the cultural belief of vacation in general. So, any case, thank you so much for watching, and I don't know exactly if I'm gonna keep the vlog running for today. Probably going to a little bit, but hope that really makes sense what I've said in the last 5 minutes. So let's go. And even if something may be perceived as bad, you're gonna be able to know if it's good. And even if something is perceived as good, you're gonna be able to feel if it's bad.